locked into Take a Ride podcast. This is one of your co-hosts, Renaissance. Going to my left,
Snips.
NIKKO in the building.
Tommie Kid.
LOWGOES the God.
And Nabu Flynn.
Black Superman.
Word. So, welcome back for the people who came back from the last episode, the trip that was, the levels we went to, and some of the truths that had to be spoken. So today I thought we'll keep it light. There's a lot of people here who's in the entertainment business in some form, some level. I felt like this is where some of the people who don't know us can know us just a little bit more on what you do. You know, and then that truth lead off from there and all the other entertainment's going on. But first, I think we need to acknowledge what just recently happened in Beirut with everything that's going on in this world as it is. For that to happen, the people who, you know, passed away, people with injured, I think we need to acknowledge that and your thoughts on how that could have been prevented or what the fuck is really going on out here. Like, it's just one thing after the other.
Okay, I'm gonna go and tell you right now. I do not know squat. All I've been, I'm gonna be real.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, just didn't catch me. I didn't get to read the full story. When it comes to top stories, I may not get to it too quick because I have my own top stories to read after. But either way, if anybody can enlighten me on the situation, I know there was an explosion. We got one side saying it was a nuke. We got one side saying it was just false ammo together. We got looking like we got memes saying yes. So this is what happens when, you know, certain things. You know, that's what I've seen. You know, I just clarity.
Have you seen the video?
I'm gonna be real. I kind of stay away from those kind of things.
Sure.
You know, to keep those, you know, negative energy, because anything that just happened, it was by a negative energy. It was just not by an anomaly of just look, it just happened. There was a negative intake behind it to spread negative thoughts, fear, and other stuff behind the white curtain.
Wait, you feel like this was something that was conspired? Like something that
I'm gonna be real. I feel everything's conspired. We cannot go through that right now. But no, but I'm just saying from this, I just said I don't know what's the facts. I'm just going off.
So
just
as
going
far
off the
as
strength.
we know, you know, I'm not the most informed either, but it is going around like the medias and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was some type of like electric plant or something that had to do with like something going wrong in some type of factory or something. And so long story short, it was not an attack or anything. So this thing malfunctioned, they caught on fire, and it triggered so these other things to explode. And it was, you know, some type of a quarter or an eighth of a nuclear power impact that did on the town. And obviously it affected a lot of people. And I have seen that it was reported on the news, like less than 50 deaths, but I've heard from people that have actually been and posted from Beirut and Lebanon themselves that there's over 3,000 or however many, there's on the dozens of deaths and thousands of injuries, you know, and the media is not reporting that. It says, you know, minor injuries, minor deaths, but really is making a bigger impact than we're really being told. And, you know, I'm not going to go into those conspiracies. But
Why not? No, actually, let's go.
Because it's like sometimes you're getting credit to bullshit.
Right.
So it's hard to believe. You just got to see what you feeling.
Right. That's as far as I've been. I used to be a type of person that I wanted to get down to the bottom of it, and that's a lot of drama, man. You know, hey, follow me on Instagram at j.snips, and you know, I used to have a big content page, have a bunch of following. All I would post is about these topics. I would get down to the bottom of it, like break down a bunch of things. But man, I don't got the time, man. Like, you know, I've been and transcended through my own little things and figure out things, and it comes to a point, man, where like you're not searching anymore. You're comfortable with what you're receiving in the moment. And you're constantly getting and the wisdom that the universe keeps giving to you. So you're no longer searching, you know. When you go to that point, you realize people got to go through it too. And you stop trying to, like, teach people. Because then you become like, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. He has a tinfoil hat. And people don't really see the message, you know. And it's like only the elect are going to understand. And then the people that are not, it's going to be blabbering to them. They're not going to understand. So I keep it quiet, man.
The last thing I saw on it was there was over 3,000 people and counting injured. There was confirmed over 80 deaths. This is actually my first time hearing that it was like an accident. I thought up until this point it was like unknown. You know what I'm saying? Like foul play, is it an accident? Like, to me, I feel like that's still up in the air.
Yeah.
But when I saw the video, my friend in the Air Force posted the video on the gram, and when I saw the video, I was like, it's just a smoky cloud. But then all of a sudden, like that shit looked like Dragon Ball, like you know when the Saiyans were like
that
going
power
into Super Saiyan, bro. Like it just bursted into an orb, and I felt that shit, and I was like, my first thought was like, yo, what the fuck is going on in the world today, dude?
Right,
that was my first thought. Like, I don't know. I don't think we're ever gonna find
place.
out what happened with this thing, but in my mind, I'm like, with all the crazy shit going on, a capital blows up.
Right. I said the timing and the place is definitely a little fishy. But, you know, we can't jump into conclusions.
Sure,
like
for
you
sure.
said, you know,
But rest in paradise to everybody who passed away, for sure, man. And for the families, man, the injured, man, all prayers to them, man. And speedy healing, because shit is crazy going on. I know that there's probably a hysteria.
Yeah, our condolences to all those people that are mourning for their loved ones, all those people that are in the hospital recovering. And, you know, we feel for that, and we keep them in our prayers.
Yeah, it's a lot of death. That Frank Ocean's younger brother is only 18 years old.
18.
Crazy.
Rest in paradise. Tell me a little bit more about that. That was my first time hearing it
That's
today too.
I didn't read up on it. I just got the notice on my phone.
It was him and another kid were killed in a car crash out on some road.
Any details or like behind the story of it all?
I think they were speeding, most likely, that type of thing. And they
Sports car or something.
They split the car in two type shit. Yeah, man.
Kind of like what we said, man. 18, like you haven't even started your life yet. Like at that point, or you just about to. Like that is the transition for Americans. Like when you become an adult, that's
on paper.
Yeah, rest in paradise to him. Prayers to Frank Ocean and the family.
Or
Frank Ocean.
R.I.P. guys.
Definitely. But it's just world's crazy, man.
Hell yeah.
A lot of negative energy out this motherfucker. Just a lot of negative you got in this entertainment business. But let's go on a brighter note. We got a lot of entertainers in this office here, and
because there's always a lighter note to the negative. As much as there is that negative going on, there's a balance in it.
Yes.
Like you said, we're about to get into the positives.
Yeah, because
the positives of it, the births of the awakenings, you can say.
It's time to reach out to people. You know what I'm saying? I think this is a perfect time to reach out to people we haven't spoken to in a while, man.
But I'm not an entertainer. I don't rap. I don't spit. I'm not the music thing. I just got a good ear. So let's go to who wants to lead it off with the first introduction of themselves, the work they've done, and the work they plan on doing.
I'll take the lead, just being on the end, just to bring the note up, something on a motivational tip as far as taking this time to learn about what's going on and, how, you can be affected and not even be there, Just ripples effect, and everything that you do sends out a ripple effect. But, Logos to God, follow me at Logos to God, you already know. Digital motivator. Let's try and get your life going as well as mine. Nobody's perfect, but we're trying to uplift the people in a different kind of way.
That's it.
The Kowboys, the gods, little by little, we building ourselves up. We could build together, but let's take this time to just learn a lesson and reach out to people we normally wouldn't, that deserve our energy. And try to shift things, because we got to be the change that we want to see. So that's the God and everything. Wants to take the floor.
All right, you got Nabu Flynn, the one and only Psychedelic Cowboy, son of Dimitri. Dimitri Briggs, Dennis Ayahuasca, the Light King, Gonzo. I go by many names: the Mastermind, the Catalyst, the Abstract. But either way, I'm a breed of its own. I'm an artist that, if I was going to do it, I did it my way. I did it original. all these pieces that I put together, you know, it's one of those things where I made everything I did like a chessboard, you know. So I'm constantly strategizing, constantly looking at the next move to elevate myself to where I can have a platform for my brothers to shine as they know, and as shine as I know they can, you know. So it's good to be an artist, entertaining, and I love that the fans are digging it, man. It wouldn't be nothing without the fans, you know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, I'm having a good time just listening to my own music on Spotify, streaming on all platforms.
Steakhouse Vibes, Volume 1.
Got some new content coming soon. As you can see right now, what's in my hand.
What you got?
Steakhouse Vibes Volume 1.
Crispy
face mask.
fuck.
We got them out here.
We gotta show off the birthday one. Come on.
And then we also got custom made God's, face mask around the board.
Show it off, bro. That shit is fresh.
Psychedelic Cowboy style.
Familiar faces.
Thanks to Nabu, Flynn, man.
So we're definitely reaching good good heights, and I feel like it's unlimited with the 7 in the building. So me honestly, I love to just, from a person I didn't see this happening. I knew I was bound for great things just cause me. But the way this is happening on my own strength, on my own hammer, and to have brothers along with me on the ride that can see the same dream that I can't ask for nothing more.
That's real.
What you feel like you learned from that first album?
What I learned from Steakhouse Vibes, I just want to make another one. It's one of those things that once you get over the hill, you can say you dropped something, but when you really go through the motions and you get the cover art, you get the person to master it, you and your engineer, you sitting there hours making sure it sounds the way you guys hear it, the way I hear it, he hears it, to be able to go into a fiction. I loved everything I learned, because now going forward, it's nothing but cake, but just the content, and now it's just having fun with it. Like, I feel like the hard work is done. Now it's the fun part, because now we know what it takes. We know what we need to do to get there. We solidify what we are. There's no hiding identity. We are the Psychedelic Cowboys. That's us against them always, COA, under that umbrella, So I learned that you can do it on your own.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Do it on your own. That's the message. Come on.
You have fun doing it on your own, man.
And have fun.
I'm having a great time,
Yeah.
with my brothers here, doing what we're doing, podcast, music, entertainment. We got merch going down. Tommie Kid got his own tie-dye business going down.
Shout out to Tommie Kid.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, we got generals here doing their things. It's just, we're making this a worldwide thing. Like, we're leaving a legacy. Like, my face is on a face mask. Nobody can take that from me.
Shout out to that, bro. Shout out to that.
But let them know what you do. Snips to God. Raul Duke himself. First time we got really Snips in the building for
I don't like to say I do one thing, man. If I can get my hands on it, bro, like my whole thing is, once I put my mind to something, whatever it is, like, I just started doing kendama recently, bro, and like, I cannot put that thing down. I gotta master it, That's just how I do. I put my hands on it, like, I invested some minutes to it. Let me try to figure it out. Now I can't back away from it. You feel me? So like, with time, like, that's helped me become sort of a jack of all trades. But sort of like not really a master of none. But there is one thing I'm good at, man, and I've gotten good at, and I had a vision about it. I came from somebody that was like tone deaf. I didn't have rhythm when I danced. I couldn't keep up with a beat much.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, man, when I was younger, and then I took 3 hits of acid by accident, thinking it was the dose I needed to take. And that was my first trip, bro. I got lost in a heavy ass trip. And basically, bro, my whole trip started where, I'm listening to my old shit, like just things I used to listen to. And in that trip, I went so deep that I didn't want to hear words. I didn't really want to hear, like, just anything about, let me get this girl, let me get this money. I didn't want to hear none of that, right? Like, just everything I would put was just like, man, I can't feel with this vibe right now. And then, I was with my ex at the time. She was a master's in psychology, and she wanted to try LSD, so we did, and I took 3 hits of some really good shit. And yeah, man. And I dove into this experience where I was feeling and seeing sound. And then the stuff that got me was electronic music. And then that night, I just dove into this world that I had never seen before. Started seeing like festivals on YouTube, all these things. I'm like, what? I don't know what these people are doing, but I'm gonna figure it out and I'm gonna learn how to do it. And I saw myself in front of like a giant crowd of people. I saw myself playing. I had like endless epiphanies that night, and I saw how I was like where I had my I gotta leave Nebraska. I gotta go back to Florida. Like something out there tells me that's where I'm gonna make it. Like, and like bro, within like it's been like it's 4 years now. Within that. You know, like I've within a year I had my own decks. I was already learning how to mix. I was looking up videos, everything. I was learning music theory. Like I started keeping up with beats. Like I learned music, man. It just feels like ever since then it's been a journey where I'm like getting in tune with sound, and I have like this philosophy where I feel like God is the DJ, you know, and it just controls all these frequencies, and like life is just this one big song, and we're all songs. And like life is about like mixing those energies, so you know, like just because it doesn't match doesn't mean you can't mix it the right way and then tune in things. And I just see life as DJing, so I've become a good DJ. Follow me on SoundCloud at Snips, that's SNIPC, and check out my new mix. I played the set on my homegirl's Tanya's birthday. Shout out to Tanya. Check out that mix.
What's poppin', Tanya?
Yeah, that's my homegirl and Freddie's wife.
What's up, Freddie?
Yeah, man, check me out on SoundCloud. Check out my mix, and that's next for you, man. Catch up with me, and we can see more. Catch me with some kendama, bro. What's up, bro?
Did you bring it today?
I should have brought that, man. You know, I didn't think it would be fun to bring a toy.
It's always fun to bring a toy.
Can't go wrong.
Okay, so NIKKO here. I love hip hop. I grew up in hip hop. It's how I survived growing up in Orlando. So I started rapping when I was like 14. I did the talent shows in high school and shit like that. And I did it on and off, but what I really started doing was coming to the open mic scene in Orlando in 2008. So about 12 years, and I got to see poets perform and hip hop artists and shit like that. And 2 years ago, I started actually going up on the mic. So I would write some songs, and I was like, damn, I want to do this shit again. So I really started getting back into the music 2 years ago. But November 2 years ago, I started Blacklist Society. So I run that. It's an independent label. It's a thank you. Appreciate it. So it's an independent label there. It's a media company. When I started Blacklist Society, just to tell you a little bit of story about the name. So I grew up feeling like the black sheep in the family. And growing up Filipino, I was like shunned and from like popular culture and the in groups and shit like that. And so I got involved in the streets and drugs and dumb shit. So one day I was walking down the street in Kissimmee. Shout outs to Kissimmee. And I was like, you know what? I feel blacklisted. What if I made a group called Blacklist Society, like a bunch of motherfuckers that just felt shunned, a bunch of people that felt blacklisted, and we, as a collective, we could celebrate each other's uniqueness or the things that people made fun of, and actually use that as a strength.
Right.
So I named the company Blacklist Society for anybody who ever felt that way, and that, hey, yo, you are great. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't ever let anybody tell you that. And so I built it as a platform, releasing music. We started out, Blacklist Society started doing promotional events in downtown Orlando with my partner Chase Prince. So we used to do Instagram parties in downtown on Church Street. We did more open mic shit. We did multiple events on Church Street. And so the promotion side, I want to get back into making the music. We're promoting another artist, Agustin. It's a hip-hop Spanish artist. Shout out to Agustin. Nabu Flynn. Let Blacklist Society work with the Steakhouse Vibe project on the copywriting side, some promotion side, some pictures, and just being able to be with these guys has improved me as an artist. I look at it like my relationship with Nabu, LOWGOES, COA. I look at it how like Jaden Smith, he took time to chill out with ASAP Rocky and all and that whole crew until he was ready. So So on an artist side, like I feel like that's the bomb there. But COA is Blacklist Family, and we out here repping Orlando to Kissimmee, Central Florida. Anything to do with Central Florida, I want to put that on. So Blacklist, we'll talk. We put on a podcast where hip hop artists can come on. I'm hoping to have Instagram influencers, models, business owners, anything that's going on in the city. It's my mission to put that on and showcase it to the world. So that's what we do.
Shout out.
Swear we out here.
I swear we out here.
We out here.
Yes, sir.
Gotta come up in your old city. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I'm in the game. Doing the game. In the Kissimmee game.
Actually, was hilarious.
Doing the K and the K. I haven't dipped into the K yet.
You know?
I have.
Shit's wonky, bro.
Bro.
You tried it?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Talk about
Maybe that'll be a different conversation,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's
I
interesting.
always had a party doing some ketamine.
It's feel wonky, bro. That's all it was, bro.
I
Either
looked at
way,
the guy. I was like,
our
I'm
next
in the
take-
game.
Got Tommie.
Like Tommie Kid, the man behind the scenes, you know.
Behind the camera. No, my name's Tommie. I go by Tommie Kid.
Yay.
Producer, former DJ,
You're always a DJ.
former everything. You know?
Once a DJ, always a
I don't
DJ.
want to hear that. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. I do it all. Produce Steakhouse Vibes.
Let's go.
One.
Let's
you
go.
Psychedelic Cowboy coming out soon.
Let's go.
You hit him with the name drop. I didn't even do
we
that.
just name drop like that.
It's just a light effect.
That's hilarious. I love it.
But nah, just always out here working, learning new things. We out here doing podcasts now.
Yes,
I mean, we came a long way. I remember behind Noodles playing Nabu.
He said
burnt
noodles.
CD of beats I made. And shit.
Wow.
That ass. I was like, yo, bro, you gotta hear this shit. And now we out here. We got music released and shit. We already planning a second release.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
And it's brought me together with all y'all too, man, which is
Hell yeah.
really cool. So
Definitely.
man.
Shout outs to Tommie, man. He's a pillar,
Yeah,
bro, for
thank you,
sure.
Tommy Kid.
Yo, all the sounds, original sounds by him
All
himself.
Tommy Kid.
Thank you,
Tommy
man.
Kid.
Ruthless on the beats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You know.
Check it out. Tommy Lee 327 Instagram. You find Nabu Flynn. All them beats are me.
Yeah,
Let's
you
go.
know it.
Yeah.
One time for the.
One time.
So what else is out there in the news now? Keeping it light.
Keeping it light, man.
Keeping it
I
light.
feel like
We don't
it's-
ever keep
hold
it
on,
light
hold on,
around
hold
here,
on.
man.
Well, because I feel like it's noteworthy, man.
Well,
So,
we had
recently-
some drinking some light beer.
He said Bud Light, keep it light. But
No,
I
no,
just
hit
want
it,
to
let's go, hit
shout outs to Logic dropping his final album,
Yep.
his
Yeah.
retirement
Shout
album.
out,
That
shout
shit
out, that
was
shit.
fucking fire. I just want to say the artwork on it. No ID produced it. If anybody hasn't heard the Logic project,
My
no
favorite
pun intended,
song
that
is
shit was dope.
Dark Place. Dark Place really got me.
That's a
Yeah,
good one.
hell yeah.
You know, just because at the end with Watts at the end, you know, it was good to hear his voice
bro.
out there.
Watts, bro.
And when you
Shout
hear
out Alan Watts.
when you hear with the beat, it just makes sense. You
Yeah,
know,
he got the
so-
Alan Watts. He got the Earl Nightingale at the end.
Oh, yeah, he's got Alan Watts on there?
Yes, sir.
I gotta hear that.
Dark
Ready
Place.
the whole tape, bro.
The
Yeah,
whole
well, I gotta-
thing,
I'm
for
gonna
those
listen
who
to
haven't
that.
heard it. I heard it and my heart broke. I told Tommie Kid, my heart broke. I was like, is this really the last Logic
Yeah.
album? Like
Signed to Twitch.
signed to
Come
Twitch,
back
and
around,
I'm
so.
proud of him, man,
What do you
because
mean
it's
he
like
signed to
I felt like
Twitch?
he got his money and he
To be
gone.
a streamer.
He's gonna be a
That's
streamer
So
right.
now?
Is he
he
young
had to
too,
retire
bro?
to
Is his
sign an
mom
exclusive deal with them. So everything Logic is gonna be through their games, all that crap.
7-year contract, I think you said.
7 years.
How much?
Yo,
7 years, bro.
What's the number?
bro.
Undisclosed.
Yeah.
7 figures, they said.
Well, of course,
7
definitely.
figures?
Under Pressure. That's that
That's-
I
album.
had to, because if Joe Rogan did the same shit for a regular podcast,
I heard
we
Joe
listen.
Rogan's deal's way more than they
Bro,
reported
Joe
to.
Rogan's deal is the
Yeah.
deal.
Up in the $200
He said
And
that's
they're already
That
talking
is
that
the deal.
they are starting to regret it.
Oh yeah.
Because
Well,
it's finna.
well, when you dish out mills like that, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure you're gonna
yeah.
start feeling regretful.
Why they regretting it?
Because it's just the podcast.
Yeah, but yo,
And it doesn't come till later, so they're not gonna get any profit till at least another month or two. They're gonna be hurting for a second. That's why.
Yep.
I mean, it is just a podcast, but looking at the The most recent one he did with Post
Oh,
Malone.
The content he gives out
I
is
heard they took
ridiculous.
some mushrooms
But
or
did you
something.
see the video of views? They had like it was bananas.
That's
It was
one
like
of the most
8
popular
mil and up. So
Really?
like if you got a guy who's bringing in 8 million streams
To a podcast, that's insane.
And you gotta think about it. They're moving. Spotify's gonna do video too.
content.
With Joe Rogan's gonna be the first person that they launched the video service to. So they're not.
Yo,
gonna
shout
put it
out Joe
on
Rogan.
Shout out
That
to
man.
the guy.
That man. is
He's one of the
crazy,
only
bro.
people in his 50s that I aspire to be like.
Bro,
You know?
he's still out there on the UFC ring, bro. Just like,
Yeah,
yo,
bro.
That's
Shout
his
out to
thing,
Ro.
and then he goes back to his podcast, get Elon
He
Musk
gets me
every
high.
day.
Texas and
Like,
shit,
bro,
too.
that
He's
man.
moving to Texas.
Yeah, bro. No state tax.
He gets me hyped when he's on the UFC commentary.
Yo, so wait, let me get this straight. They were on mushrooms?
Yes, sir.
That's
That's
what's up.
what.
Oh,
Bro, hold
oh,
on. First,
yo,
I
so
want to
let's
say
talk
this
about mushrooms, bro. Can we
real
talk
quick.
about
If you
mushrooms?
look at that
Yes,
podcast
let's talk
and
about
see Joe
mushrooms.
Rogan's face, he looks straight on mushrooms.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
Yeah.
there's this scene where Joe Rogan looks straight into the camera. He looks gone. Like
He's in the tunnel.
So
Yeah, he looks at
I enjoyed that scene, man. That was awesome.
he look at you, yeah, he looks through you and shit.
But I guess Snips wants to talk about some shrooms, some caps. You said?
Talk about some mushroom, man. Can we talk about psychedelics today? No?
Listen, if that's where the trip goes, that's where it goes.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
Talk
how
about
it is.
psychedelics. Go
Yo,
ahead.
anybody got a psychedelic story they want to tell you?
Shrooms in the building.
So, what's your
Yes,
favorite? What's your favorite psychedelic story, dog?
I could tell the most vivid one I have was we're going through a black hole and washing up on a cosmic beach.
On a cosmic beach. So explain to me on a
yes.
cosmic beach.
It was an ocean, but I looked up and it was like I was in the middle of the galaxy, but there was an ocean. Clearly, there was an ocean. No sand, no nothing. Like I guess the stars was the sand. Yeah. The stars were the sand, and I was just like, oh, just hearing the waves crash, and I looked up like, the stars look mad close. And I looked down, I'm like, yo, am I on the stars? I'm on the stars. And after that, just colors and kaleidoscope and just seeing me. Like, I was like, I'm on just a train ride through my whole life. Just watching different, but
Is
it's
Dimitri?
beautiful. Yes, Dimitri.
Wow.
Dimitri, beautiful.
That's
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Of
Dimitri.
course, of course.
The sacred acreage.
That makes sense with the star sand and all that. You know, it is kind of some star sand. If you think
It
about
is. It feels like
you know, if
you're
you look
everything.
at it,
you
you can call it star
that's
sand.
factual.
Really,
It's a
Right?
crazy feeling. It's beautiful though.
you can
man.
imagine
Yeah.
a whole beach that's DMT, bro.
Don't say that.
Yeah, that's
Don't say that.
Nabu's closet.
Yeah, the spaceship.
That's right.
Yo, I've taken an
This
experience
phone
in there
booth.
before.
What about you, Nabu? What's one of your beloved trips? Like, you know, top shelf story.
Top shelf story. They're all so good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
The most vivid, man.
Almost vivid.
The most vivid one that you just know you never. It's there.
well, the most vivid one I had is when I really broke through at LOWGOES. Is then,
That was vivid.
you know, it was up to a point to okay, so here he goes. So I lined him up for a hit, but he was like, nah, you know, with you know, bomb boom beam, I'm taking a hit because we can't just have deems in there because we have to smoke it once it's in there. It's one of those things like someone got to take it. So I took the hit. So I took the first hit, sitting there having a great time. See little baby gods just dancing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
And then like in the fucking cloud, I'm like, all right. And then I'll never forget it. So I take the fucking hit. And he didn't have no small bong. He had the fucking Green Lantern, although it was Black Panther, fucking huge. So all of a sudden I take the hit, and all of a sudden I see LOWGOES just like leaning back in his chair. Then all of a sudden things just got faster, brighter, and larger, quick. I'm like, and I always see a smile like, and then I just hear the gorillas in the background, you know, Saturn bars. And all of a sudden, I went through this fucking rush. Just, I hit this. I hit. It almost looked like when Frodo went to go throw the ring in fucking Mordor. I literally went to a fucking like great fucking high, and I I remember screaming out, "What is the meaning of life?" And then that motherfucker showed me like a fucking flip book. Hit me so hard, bro, my head popped. BOOM! Hit the floor. I heard a scream. Felt like I broke through a window. All I can hear, all I had to do, like, I heard nothing, I saw nothing. I was in the further. So I called out to LOWGOES, you know what I'm saying? Luckily he was there. And then he coaxed me with, you know, the breathing technique by the God himself. Take Nine Han. You know, with the moment. So when he caught me, you know, that's when everything, like, I got into this room. It was like almost like the T-1000 melt, like that fucking Quicksilver, like it, but it was shining. Yeah. All the colors, green and pink and purple, were very strong, and it was just breathing. And then my foot was in my face, and then I see this guy's like fucking head circling around, saying, "Focus on your breathing." And you know, and he's
green
and I'm trying. I'm
purple.
He doesn't even understand. Like I wish I could show him what I saw because he was just. You're right here. I'm like, I'm not fucking right here. You know what I'm saying? But after he coaxed me down, I started holding on in the control. But I mean, there's a lot of other vivid ones and strong ones, but that one tops the cake. I mean, I fucking sprawled out on the floor. This guy had to fucking get me. You know what I'm saying? So, but after that, it took lots of solo trips, and I learned how to control. So. Just gotta go through a bad one to get to the good one.
Yep, for sure.
That is a very true.
You got a psychedelic story?
I'm still on it, so I'd have to get back to you on that.
This man just
I'm still in the fucking energy, so I can't really explain it.
Talk about your first DMT trip, bro. Like, how was it, bro? He just had this, like, not even like an hour ago. And you might still be still processing.
Yeah, I'm still.
This is the man I'll tell you really, like, without no bullshit, with no time to add bullshit to you. He'll tell you how he really felt when he took his first.
It's like a fucking echo right now. Just still feeling that energy, not tethered to it, but still feeling it. And
you're open now to it.
Yeah, definitely. Once you're aware of that signal, there's no forgetting it.
Yeah. That's well put. Well put.
It's beautiful.
There's definitely no forgetting it. But my trip took me, like I said, to a place where I felt I was me again. I lived for me. I did for me. I lied for me. Whatever it was, I did it because I wanted to.
Right.
There was no other purpose to it. So it took me to that moment. Sadly enough, that was in my teen, so I felt like a teen again. So that energy, that just vibrance of life, of living in the moment, not giving a fuck about later. It was like, damn, just felt youthful again.
Yeah, bro.
So I'm still just feeling off of that.
That's a beautiful way to put it. It's hard. Like he said, what was it? Like you can't put it on the English. You can't say
there's no English.
Yeah, there's no English when it comes to talk about it.
All these stories, they don't come close to what had actually happened to these gentlemen.
Right.
This is our best attempt to describe what happened.
Absolutely, and that is a very good way to describe it in short, simple words. Like leaving you with the doubt and the whole experience. That is really that's really the point. Yeah. Like that's exactly like the main thing. Without the story, without the colors, like that's just exactly what you like experience, and that's deep, man. You got a psychedelic story, man?
A psychedelic story, man. I was thinking about a few of them. I'll bring it back to ayahuasca ceremonies, man.
Oh man.
So like I get chills thinking about it. The shout outs to Soul Quest. They're one of the first legal ayahuasca groups practicing in Orlando.
Oh wow.
Right. So they had a 3rd generation Brazilian shaman, beautiful, come and do the ceremony. This is my first time doing ayahuasca. I'll bring it up. So, the first night is supposed to be priming, so they give you a small dose. But the second night, they load you up. Like, they load you the fuck up. And what I saw was so terrifyingly beautiful. Like, I saw the energy of love. And there's a scripture in the Bible that says, like, God is, like, beautifully terrifying. And when I can't describe it. Like I said, there's no English. Mm-hmm. It just looked like a big mandala, and I knew like this was love, and it was like it commanded so much like reverence and respect, and it was like terrifying. Like it wasn't weak. When you think of love, it's not like mushy and gushy. Like love conquers all. Like it can do anything.
Absolutely.
So to see that energy face to face, like I felt like I was in the presence of God.
Wow.
Like I'm still chilling, like bro.
Bro,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
is
Like
crazy,
I felt like
bro.
I was in the presence of God.
I believe it.
And at that moment, I was like, yo, psychedelics are the bridge to the spiritual experience. For me. Other people may think differently, but at that moment, I was like, this was what the Bible was talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One of the times, the Apostle Paul says, whether I was in the body or the spirit, I do not know. And that's how psychedelics feel like. Am I in my body? Am I in the spirit? Well, fuck if I know. This is happening right now.
Please, brother.
What's crazy is the following morning, because ayahuasca is an 8-hour trip. Like 8, but we were going like 16 to 18 hours because we were drinking multiple cups.
8 hours.
So it's Dimitri elongated.
Right.
It's in slow motion.
Oh,
So
wow.
things are talking to you in full blown. You're having conversation. But what I want to bring into the morning was beautiful. This was open eyed.
Wow.
So I wake up in the morning, I do some sun gazing, and this is open fucking eye. Like I know the ayahuasca was still in me, but I wasn't in peak. You know, I was sober enough to talk. I straight up look at the sun, and from the sun, a purple triangle like this pops out of the sun, and the middle opens up like an eye.
What?
And to this day, that's why the Blacklist Society logo is that triangle with the eye, like, you know, like God seeing us, like the creative eye, the creative perspective, the eye of the Creator being upon you, like I felt seen by God.
Yeah, it's
you know?
all it is.
And as somebody who's felt blacklisted, to feel like God saw me, like some random ass kid in Orlando, like, to this day, that shifted my life.
Bro,
So that's one of my trips
I can affirm what you're saying because I've had both similar experiences when you said you like came to an encounter where you feel like you're in the presence of the divine.
Yeah.
And I've had an experience where like I took a huge DMT trip. It was like 4 doses in one. And bro, all my whole trip was literally I was in darkness and all I see is an eye. And it has like a triangular energy around it. It wasn't a solid, it was like an energy triangular around it, and I just see the eye. It was just like the awareness of all. Yeah. Right? And it's like shortly it's like this thing like when your mind is like that awareness, it's like all of it in there. It's like your thoughts, it's like you think about the sky, it's like the clouds. The thoughts are passing you by. And you have the sky, which is your mind overall. You know, your thoughts are inside of your mind, same like the clouds are inside of the sky. And then there's the sun, which is the awareness of all of it, far away from all of this, but it affects all of it. And it's the awareness of all of it that is really you, and that's like really like God within you, and that is like the all-seeing, the awareness, like not the Illuminati shit and all that. It's something that's a part of all of us.
That's
God,
what I love, the
God
awareness
within,
part.
right? It's God within. It's the awareness. It's a mind that doesn't make judgments or decisions. It's just aware of the human experience.
And with that awareness, there's like a sense of connection.
Right,
and that's why I love
you get in tune with it, like I said
there's
before. Like you get it right.
So.
You get in tune with it when you become present. Like when you meditate, you become present. Like you know, you start feeling within. Like you try to feel the inside of your hand, the inside of your heart. Like you know, it's just parts of your body that you shouldn't feel. And you hear and you disconnect from your thoughts and connect to things around you. Now you become in tune with that energy that's like bigger than any of your thoughts. So you're outside of your mind and you start picking up new information and it gets deep, bro. You know? And I've had that experience, you know, and I've also had an experience where like, you know, I smoked a bunch. This was my second time smoking DMT, and like I went into this room and it felt like I was like inside of like this like circus place. Like it was like I feel like I was inside of a tent, and then there's like a bunch of different shapes, different entities, and then in the top of the tent there was a hole, and it looked like almost like an eclipse. Like I can see like the sun around it, but it was black in the middle. And as I look up at it, it pulled me up, and now I'm in like a blank space, but there's just this energy that feels like divine. It looks like it's spreading itself with energy like that. Like it looked like it's like wings coming out, but it was energy, like not physical. Yeah. And I couldn't see no physical part, but it was like light and strong energy and bliss. And like the closer I get to it, the more bliss I feel. Right, so for a second I'm drawn to it because it's blissful, right? And then the closer I get to it, the bliss becomes overwhelming, way more than I'm not worthy of that bliss. And then the closer I get, it's like so blissful that it can kill me. I can't take it anymore. And I came to the point where I had to give up. I'm like, no more. And it shut me back down to that same place I was with the tent and all the
That's
objects.
exactly how it feels. Like, no more.
Yeah, bro.
This part,
Yeah, like it was like it's
no
not
more.
that it's bad. It's just like
You can't
it's
handle
too
it.
holy. It's too it's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and that's one of my craziest psychedelic experiences as well.
That's fucking awesome.
You have any psychedelic experiences, bro?
Yeah, man. The one that I think of right now is when me and Nabu we tripped. We took a tab of acid once and had a whole recording session. And the one song, what did we end up calling that song? I forget. Like
the Blues Clues song.
Blues Clues, man.
That's
that,
my
shit,
jam.
like, that song was crazy because after that trip and like even days, weeks after, I would listen to that song and it would take me like right back into the trip again. And I'd just be like, damn, man, that shit was crazy because I'd tripped before, but I'd never had a trip where like we had created something. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy. It was crazy because like it went in the direction I didn't see, but it was. Especially that one song is Gangster, bro. That's one of the best songs I think we've ever made.
Blues Clues is my favorite song ever. It can sound shit to you, but that was the best Lucy experience ever. That was made on the spot.
On the spot,
awesome,
bro.
You
And
know
then like
what I'm
halfway
saying?
through the song, he started like peaking too hard. I mean, we both were peaking.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he was recording.
Wait, was that the tab that I gave you?
Yeah, of course.
And you can't. Oh man. Oh, I am not a tab theater,
Bro, and he was peaking in the middle of recording, and you can hear it on the recording too. It's great, bro. It's great. I'm happy that we got it done.
Yeah, brings me back to that place, so it's always good.
That shit was good shit.
I'll never forget that. That shit was fun.
Creating on Lucy on acid is one of my favorites. Like sometimes like with DMT or mushrooms, like I want to go introspective, but on Lucy, I feel like you can make a few tracks. Like there's something about Lucy in music. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that because it rides. It rides. But there was something that Raul Snips told me. So if you take too much, you won't want to do shit. You know what I'm
that is
It's not that you will want to, it's that can you?
yeah. Bro, hold on, one time, just to tab on that, man. No pun intended. I did 3 tabs one time, and I was in the bathroom, and I swear to God, an alien just like came and stood over me. Dude, there's sometimes in trips where you go so deep, you don't know what the fuck is going on. You can't do shit. You just gotta ride that out.
Yeah,
you buy the ticket.
It can be a depressing experience. It could be a positive experience. Like, bro, like I've had trips where like I'm in the shower, bro, and I'm like, I don't know, like I've had trips where I feel like angel wings coming at me, and then they turn into devil wings, and all the feathers fall off, and then they like come back to feathers, bro. Like I'm battling like evil and good in my body.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. And then like I see like whenever like I would feel like the evil wings come out, I feel like I was hallucinating this or not, but I feel like my veins throbbing and my legs getting buffer and like more testosterone going through my body, and I feel like some evil taking over me, and then like I'll feel the wings, and then I'll feel the good, and it was like complete opposite. I was battling both of those feelings. I was deep on a trip, bro. Like I was in the shower for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I was.
For me, one thing I find annoying is like when I know I'm on it, when I can't feel my bottom teeth. Like it feels like
wait, what are you doing, man? What are you doing?
Like
what
it just,
kind of drugs are this?
you know what I'm saying? Like, once I don't feel my teeth on the bottom, I'm like, what the fuck?
What kind of drugs are we talking about?
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, by the way, we don't do drugs.
Double
we do
times.
medicine.
You know what I'm saying? But it's a weird feeling. That's when that shit creeps up. I love when that shit creep up, right?
The tingling in the
That
teeth.
shit just creep up. Yeah. Taking steps ever so lightly, and then you start feeling this wave of just everything just start waking up, but yet relaxing. You know?
Yeah, I get that. Sometimes you feel all tired when you start feeling the acid.
But you're chill as fuck, man. But there'll be moments, man, where one person can look at you one way and he was just meant nothing by it, and then you're in there just like with your voice like, no, that nigga said something. Looked at you.
Yeah.
Drop him. You got the 100%. No, don't worry about what take care of. Like all of them talking to you, and you're just sitting there like,
that's crazy. It is true, man.
Working it out.
Working it out. Hey, how you doing? What did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like you have to go through this moment. I feel like those are those times because it is overwhelming when you're like when you do it by yourself. You're good. I mean, the things you have to worry about is the inanimate objects that you think what they are, what they're not. But when you're out there in the fucking society, you're out there in the fucking real life, there's no fucking holds barred, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to carry yourself.
Be careful.
You have
Everybody
to carry
out there
yourself,
doing that,
yeah,
careful.
you have to carry yourself like a professional out there. You know, Psychedelic Kowboys, all professionals here. I could be tripping real balls and you wouldn't even notice. But it's one of those things because, you know, you could be sitting in the middle and you just feel like everybody's watching you like this, but really they're not.
Yeah. Right,
And you're just sitting there like, why is he looking at me? Like, why is everybody? And then you just feel everybody's like crowding around you as you're doing that, and then you start.
That is so real, bro.
And then you start getting this whole like claustrophobic where you start bringing yourself close to yourself, like
Start caving in.
And then you got someone that you know, like, hey, what's going on, bro? It's like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah.
There's been plenty of times where I gave him disclaimers.
That's a combination of two things. It's like dissociation and ego death.
Yeah.
So it's like you're dissociating from like what you normally know to be normal, things that you wouldn't normally question. You're dissociating from like your normal reality, and then you're having ego death where you're not even sure of who you are anymore.
Or you're not even sure if you're alive anymore.
Yeah, you can get to that point.
No, absolutely.
You can,
I'm
and
like,
that's another
I've
level.
had times where like, yo, did I go too far?
Yeah.
Is this the time?
Yeah. And that's
Had a
another
couple
level.
of
But
those,
even
yeah.
then, at that point where you're like, still like, at that point, you're already there. Like you're just at that point, you're already there. Like there's no going back and forth. You're already there. But like you can be at that point where he's saying like you're still like gripping yourself and the trip, and you can't dive into either because you're going back and forth.
Yeah.
So you're like questioning yourself, your reality, the trip, and like you're dissociating a certain thing. Like, wait, they looked at me. What did I do wrong? Like, you know, or like shit like that where it can fuck up your trip, and like you feel like you're dissociating and you're not sure of who you are anymore. You're not sure how to act. Like, you know, and it can get to that point, and it can fuck up people's trips. And bro, I hate those people that be like, oh, you feeling it? Yeah. Like, oh, and show you lights and shit. Like, fuck off. Like, what are you doing?
Like,
come on.
It's going through like a sacred experience right now.
It's like a respect thing. It's like, you know, it's like
trip, like
you should just came with the light show without the noise.
Yeah,
Just like, yo, look what I got. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
Like with the wrench.
Oh man, fuck the wrench, man. Okay.
Tell them about the wrench.
Mother of pearl. All right, so EDC weekend.
EDC
First night.
2019.
Let's just say Nabu Flynn got fucked up. Like I've lost my sight for the weekend. I lost my sight. It was crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Bro, man was
So
walking
either way, me and my kid brother here, NIKKO, we got what they say separated for the moment because he had to go to the bathroom, and I guess obviously I rounded it off wrong ways. But either way, he said meet at the first aid kit, at the first aid booth. Boom. It's raining. It sucks. It's cold. I'm tripping balls. Like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. Like I'm having a great time though. You know what I'm saying? My eyes feeling crazy. Like I have my glasses off, so everything is foggy, misty. So anyways, I see this dude. Fucking got a shirt on his head, and he fucking comes up. Comes up to me, and he goes, "Hey man, just hit this." And I was like, in the back of my head, right? I'm like, I shouldn't, but I'm in EDC. This could make out for a funny story, whatever he has in that fucking bowl, and maybe it could be the upcharge to give me my sight back. You know what I'm saying? I was going for 50-50 there. So boom, I go to hit it. Why not? I had this taste of metal. I'm like, what? He unravels it. He goes, "It's a wrench, dude."
Thinking it was a vape pen. This shit was a wrench.
I sat there with the only. You know what? I wasn't even mad at him. Like he was going around getting kicks doing this. I understand. I would have signed that up. That would probably be like 5th on my list. But like, honestly, bro, like I'm trying to understand how'd you get that big ass wrench? You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough we're trying to, smuggle what we gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But this thing got a full on like mechanics wrench, so it makes me think you broke something around here to get that. You know what I'm saying? But it was funny. I give him credit. He got me.
That's hilarious.
Thank you for sharing that story.
It was fun.
Yo, you all remember when they took my goddamn phone?
Oh shit! Snatched them quick.
Bro.
Not even 5 minutes in the
Yo,
set.
so I went and I
5
met up with
minutes.
them that night. I took some Molly, some good old Mr. Molly, and some mushrooms. A lot of mushrooms. And anyway, so I'm chilling there, bro. I have my phone in fanny pack all the time when I get in the festival. I put that there so nobody pickpockets me. And man, these couple girls come up to me. They're like, "Hey, take a picture of us, whatever, cool." So I take a picture of them, and I have my phone in my hand, so I put it in my pocket in that specific moment when I went to take a picture. Well, I take a couple of pictures of them, like, no, take another one, cool. Take another one. And, like, in that moment, I did feel somebody put their hands in my pocket, but, like, I'm, like processing all this because I'm, like, way out there. So I had to, like, trace back to remember, like, yeah, somebody did pickpocket me when I took the picture. But anyway, I take the picture, boom, and then, like, I give my phone back, and I went, what the fuck's my phone? And I look at him, and I look at him, like, yo, somebody just pickpocketed me. And they're like, what? Like, yeah, somebody just pickpocketed me. And there's a guy behind me looking all suspect. I'm like, where the fuck's my phone, bro? I know he took that shit. They're like, who the fuck took my shit? It wasn't me. So I apologized to the dude, and I'm like, yeah, somebody took my phone. Fuck it.
He just took it as a loss and he kept moving.
Have a good night. I feel way too good to care about my phone.
So let's round about it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, oh man, psychedelics. I can talk about that shit for weeks.
Yeah, man. So wait, yeah.
But on a lighter note, things are, the way they are out there. I feel like the message that if I were to give to everyone watching this is focus on you, focus on your inner growth. There's a lot of outside forces messing with you, trying to stop you, trying to tell you your idea is fucking whack when it really isn't. You gotta power through and just not listen. If you have an idea, run with it. As full as it is, you can at least say you went down with your full idea, man. You're in a day and age that the littlest things can catch fire. Why not say you have the match to light something bigger than what they tell you? I tell you, like, it's a fun feeling, man. Like, your own ideas, your own. You wouldn't want to work for somebody for the rest of your life. You look for that escape to be financially freedom of your own. You're that guy. Why not strive for that? So my message, guys, keep pushing, man. Like, stay motivated. Be around people that motivate you. Don't be around people that keep you in the loop.
Yeah.
If that means you have to be by yourself, then hey, man, be your own best friend. I have plenty in my head, about 5 or 6. So they keep me company. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like, you gotta figure it out. Real shit. It ain't easy, but you gotta figure it out sooner than later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. So buy a ticket.
Take
Take
the
the
ride.
ride.
Hey.
See you,